Hello everyone, Kyle here, and this week we're going to be talking a little bit more about CSS and what it is and how it can be beneficial to you. So, CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and what it is it can help you edit web pages. It can help edit or style how HTML elements are displayed on a web page, and they can help you save a lot of time and work because CSS can help you control the layout of multiple web pages at once. So there are three ways that CSS can be implemented to HTML elements. The first being inline CSS. So what inline CSS is used for is to basically change the style of one single HTML element. So if you want to change just the color of one sentence or one line of text. So for example, here we have, this is a red heading, and it's labeled as color red. And if we wanted to do, say, a blue heading, you could type in blue for color, run, and this is a blue heading. So if we were to copy this same line on the next line and change this to red and run it, it would have a separate line that is in red. So inline CSS, it can only edit one HTML element at once. The next is internal CSS. So internal CSS is used to style the entire HTML page. And here's an example. So here in the body, the background color is powder blue. So the background here is powder blue. If I wanted to change it to, say, green, it would change the entire page to a green background. If I wanted to change the heading here from blue to yellow, I would just type it in there, and here it edits on this page. Lastly is what is called external CSS. So external CSS is what external CSS is used for is to change the entire look of a website. So say you have multiple web pages on your website, but you want to keep a common theme throughout your different web pages, you would use a separate you would use external CSS to do this. So with external CSS, you have to have a separate file that is not written in HTML. You can use any text editor, but it cannot have any HTML in it, and it has to be saved as a CSS file. So within that CSS file, you can basically edit all the web pages on your website if you link that specific CSS file in your HTML file. So for example, here, this is an example of how external style sheet is used in a web page. So in the HTML file, the CSS file is linked right here, and this is what the CSS file looks like. So having the background color as powder blue would make every web page in your website have the same background color, no matter what page it is. Every heading would have the color blue. Every paragraph would have the color red. So it's very useful for when you have multiple web pages on a website and you want to keep a common theme. Um, so those are the three main types of CSS and how three main ways CSS is implemented into a web page. Um, I hope you learned a little bit more about HTML and how CSS is used to edit it. And I'll see you guys next week for the next video.